Alright guys, another day on the trapline here. Beautiful day. And well, we're starting out here this morning, and you can see the mink trail coming along there. And there he is. Picked up a nice mink here. Just an hole in the bank there, and bait it with a piece of muskrat. And you'll pick him up every time. Yes sir, nice big dog too. Holy crap. That's the ones I likes. Nice big males. Money mink. So we're going to get him out and get the trap reset and carry on, see what else we can get today. Alrighty, got the trap reset there now. Had to replace the trap. Mink is frozen solid in the trap, so anyhow, that's how the set works. Whenever you can, try to camouflage your trap with a bit of grass. Break the outline of that trap. Mink can be tricky sometimes and very reluctant to enter a trap. That's why I don't use many boxes, because I find you get a hell of a lot of refusals. But if you dig a hole in the bank like this and bait it with a piece of rabbit, I get a rabbit in there, and it looks more natural. And he's going to come along and he's not going to hesitate to go in and get that bait. So that's it. That's how it works. So anybody that's trying to get into mink trapping, try it out. This set works deadly. Hey guys, back in off the trap line today, and well, we're out in the shack tonight, and I've got several requests. Some guys want to show them skinning a mink, so that's what I'm going to do. So we was out on the trap line this morning, and we picked up this little fella. Nice big mink. He was froze solid, now he's thawed out. So now get him out of the trap and skin him up. Alright. Nice big dog mink. Real nice mink. Well furred this time of year. The fur glistens when you. This is the hair that the fur grader is going to look at, right on the back of his back, towards the tail. And you can tell. You look at a prime pelt, and you can look at a on-prime pelt, and well, I've seen a good many, so I can tell right away he's a good mink or not. So anyhow, we're going to get this guy skinned up and go from that. Alright, the first process I do is when I'm skinning the mink is tack the foot to my bench. Just like that. Take the other foot, pull it tight. And that gives you your initial cut line. You see this ridge here? That's where you make your cut. So you take a small pelter knife, just standard pelting knife, and make that first cut. Stick it in back here, back of the heel, straight across. And up to the other heel. That's it. It's the first cut. Then what that does, get another nail, pull the other leg out tight, tack it. Now I can pull the tail. So then I make another incision right here, just below the butthole, and cut out around the glands. Do not cut the glands, because it's going to stink like hell. On both sides. Like that, and then you just start working it. Just get enough down so that you can get your fingers in around there. Like so. Mink are not hard to skin, and well, any animal's not hard to skin. Once you can skin one, you can skin them all. I don't know if you can see this, I'm kind of back onto it there. So, here we go. Okay, now I can release this foot and work from the belly side. Just peel it down enough, skin it down enough so you can get your fingers in around, that's all. And once you get down past the initial cut, just usually peels off pretty good up till it gets to the head. Alrighty. Now you work it with your fingers. Just pop this off. Now, once it gets up to the foot, run your knife up like that and just cut that off. You don't need that anyway. Take that leg, pull it. And you get your fingers in here, finger and thumb, just work it off. Now I can release the other leg. Okay, now you can see fur is up to the toes. What you do is cut that off. Pull that leg. Now we're getting down around the tail. Just work it down, keep working it down. That's the tailbone. This is how, for most people, use a tail stripper. I don't. I just pop the thumb through and under the tail, grab it like that, pull it out. Very easy. Alright. Now the skin is down over to that stage. Okay. Now the front paws. What I do with the front paws is I'll take a knife and right where you see that little rubber, like a little rubber pad, just cut it off there. It's right in the joint. Knife don't cut. Give it a little twist and it should pop right off. That's it. One front foot. And do the same on the other side. There we go. That's it. Now it's just a matter of pulling it down. I'll have to make a little cut there around the penis. The sheath kind of sticks on there. So now we're to the part where the saddle. You don't want to remove the saddle off the pelt, so just make a couple cuts across, free up the saddle from the carcass, and just stick to the pelt. And you can grab them by the hips, keep pulling. Now we're up to the front legs. Here the saddle tends to stick onto the carcass again, so make a cut. Just light cut, do not cut the pelt, just cut the saddle. Like so. Turn them over, do the same. Just follow up the front leg. Alright. Give it another little tug. Now you're to the front legs. So just work your fingers in there. Pop them out. That's one. Do the same thing on the other side. Alright. Pull. Now you get up to the neck. Just usually what it does is just wrap it around my finger and give it a good tug. Now, to the hair canals. So you want to be careful here. You do not want to make the holes around the hairs any bigger than what they are naturally. So you cut down on an angle. Cut around the head. Just try to free up the carcass. Alright, it's the hair cut off. You see the butt of the hair there. Flip them over. Do the same. There we go. Now you're up to the getting up towards the eye sockets. You do not want to make the eye socket or hole any larger than what it is normally. It looks bad. And the fur grater will pick up on any defect right away. So what I'm doing here is like squeezing and push at the same time with one hand. So you just do that all the way around. Here we go. Let's get it right. And then we're to the bottom lip. You ain't got to be real particular about bottom lip because it's going to be removed anyhow. But nose, you got to be careful around the nose. You don't want to cut the nose off the pelt. So just take your time and work it. You can tell when you get straight to the end of the nose cartilage there that where you got to cut. Okay. Now I just pop my finger through his mouth, like so. And cut nose cartilage off. Now to the bottom of the lip. Doesn't matter how you're going to do that because that's going to be removed anyhow. And that's it. That's our pelt. On to the boarding process. Alrighty, time to put them on the board. Now, got them off and got them fleshed up a bit, cleaned up. You don't overly flesh mink pelts. You don't want to take that red saddle off the pelt. That stays on. It only removes the excess fat. So that's it. And he's going on the standard male mink board. See it? There's quite a distinct difference in between males and females. You got female boards for females and you got male boards for males. They're not interchangeable. So then you can go online and or go on your NAFA website and click on resources for trappers, and you can get the measurements to make these boards. Anybody that doesn't know. So we're going to slip him on now. Usually what it does is just slip the pelt down over, center him up, around the nose area. You got to make sure on a mink that the nose goes over the top of the stretcher. What I usually does here is I take a nail and I'll poke it down through the top lip, like so. Just get it going there. If you can see that, nail on the top lip, and I'll stick that down through the board, like so. And that way, the nose cannot slip off the board. You don't want your mink pelt to come off the board and the nose look like this. Looks real bad when it's dried. So just stick a nail down through. That way it cannot slip off. Give it a little tap. Make sure. Don't worry about the bottom lip. That's going to be removed and you will see that shortly. So, as with any pelt, you do not stretch it. The old saying of, oh, you got to stretch them bar tight and all this old stuff, that doesn't apply. Just form them. Get him on the board. Make sure his eyes and everything is in line. ears on each side, eyes on each side, and a straight line right to the tail. So what I just does is I place them on the edge of my bench here, and I'll center them up and stroke the pelt down to get any kinks out of it. Then I'll just take a small tack, drive on one on each side of the tail. Like so. Some guys use tacks. You can use whatever. I just prefer to use nails. Doesn't matter, same thing. The end result is the same. So now the back legs. It's not like a marten. Martens, their back legs goes on the opposite side of the tail, but with mink, it goes on the same side as the tail. So what you do is take your two back paws and just pull them down, not hard but snug, and tack it down. Do the same on each side. Okay, now this bit of flaps like here, you just got to pin this down in pleats, and what that does is create more fur in the inspection area. So just start and pin it like so. In the meantime, while you're doing that, you're spreading out your back legs. Same thing on the other side. That's it. Pretty simple. Make sure everything is all nice and in line. You don't want it all corkscrewed or anything like that. Now the tail. Comes to the tail, you just take your knife. I usually just grip the tip, take my pelt knife, stick it in up here, and work way down through. Like so, right to the tip, and you spread it open. Just like so. Now, a lot of guys, what you got to keep in mind is do not pull that tail. I'm going to show you something now. Watch this area as I pull the tail. Right, can you see this area stretch? What you're actually doing, if you pull that tail tight and then pin the tail down, you're thinning out the air in the inspection area. So you don't want to do that. You kind of want to push it up. So push the pelt up. Do not pin it tight. So when that pelt starts to dry and it shrinks, it draws all the hair in this area tight together, and that gives you a good top quality grade from your fur bar. So I just tack it open so that it dries properly, but I do not pull it tight. What you want to kind of do is kind of pleat it. Just pin her down. Like so. Keep her spread out. on going, you can see the pleats in the tail. But once that pelt dries and the skin shrinks, all that'll be nice and flat. Plus I've increased the fur in my inspection area. And once you get around to the tip, well, just that'll do her. That's it. So now we turn her over. When we get to this area, I'm going to trim this up. So what I'll do, not sure if you can see it there, I'm going to back onto it now. I'll take my knife, because I'm Mink, you've got to cut an inspection area. The fur grader has to be able to look at a certain portion of the hair back here. So if you cut this out, cut a little bit out, it makes it easier for him. You just take it and trim it off. And that's it. Looks much neater. And the fur grader can get a good look at the back here on the opposite side of the pelt. Now off to the front legs. What I do for front legs is tuck them. Take them, poke them in with your knife. That's it. When that dries, it all flattens right out and it looks very presentable. Now the top lip. Just take a knife, right where the skin gets flappy on the bottom lip. Run your knife up through. That's it. Bottom lip. And that's how it looks. That's a properly bored mink. Everything is all centered. Eyes on the center, on each side, ears on each side. You don't want them with the ear on one side of the mouth or corkscrewed or whatever. Everything has to go in a straight line with the tail. Right from the tip of the nose right down to the butt of the tail. They're all in a straight line. And that's it. So I hope that helped you out. That's how I does it. I've won awards, many awards for my pelts. I take pride in my pelts. I think it's what every trapper should strive to do. If you're out there and you're trapping, you're taking the lives of animals, you should do your best to realize the best amount of profit for this pelt. I mean, you owe it to the animal. You killed it, so. Anyhow, we're going to hang this guy up. Give him 2 or 3 days and he'll be dry and he'll be ready for auction. Alright, as I was saying before, it's the mink we just bored there then. Right here. That's the difference between a male and a female. That's the male and that's the little female. Big difference. So we got a few hanging there, drying out. So whoever requested the video on skinning, I hope that helps you out. I'm not really sure, I kind of lost your name there, but doesn't matter, I guess. You know where you are. Anyhow, we're gonna call that it, I guess. Alrighty, on to the next request. I had a request from Gonzo, or Heath Gagnon. He wanted to see me make a conibear clip. So what you do, Gonzo, is get a piece of strip of tin, like so, roughly 2.5 inches wide. and well, it doesn't matter the length as long as you got enough to make a clip. So I'm going to cut this excess off anyhow. So what I've done is I've drawn a line here. It's a half inch from in to there to the line, and then a half inch from here to here. So two lines which are a full inch. Then I go from this line to here to this line, which is another 2 inches. Then I go from the 2 inch mark out another half inch. So that way I know where to make my bends. So what I do is you take your metal and you bend it up like so, right on that half inch mark. So your first half inch like that. And you take turn it this way so that the hand goes down, and you bend it back right on that half inch, bend it upwards. Okay, so now you got this Z shape. Now your 2 inch mark. Take that and you bend it up right on that 2 inch line. Bend it all the way over. Now you see this half inch mark here again, you bend that one forward. And you got this shape. So it looks. Now I'm just going to trim it off roughly half inch right here. So you take your metal shears, come in about half inch, snicker off. That's it. Simple as that. You can buy these at your trap supply, but if you got some old scrap tin lying around, you got killer clips right away. Pretty simple, pretty easy to make. And you take your 110, standard 110. This one is Magnum. You can tell it's Magnum because the jaws goes tight together. Take your trap, you open it up, you stick this on your brick, you drive a screw down through here and into your brick. Take your, just pretend this was on a brick, and you sit your trap. That's it. Now I can position this trap any way. If I want to put it this way, I can go that way. If I want it, whatever, doesn't matter. But for bottom edge sets, that's the way to go. Very quick, very simple. Trap's in place and solid, will not move. And this shiny clip, you get a moonlight night, the mink, as they're swimming around, they seize this shiny clip and they dive right for it. And that puts them right in your line of fire. So that's it, that's all it's made. Very simple. That's how it works. It just fits in that. These two Z's on each side, that's how your trap jaws fits in them. That keeps them there snug. Not going anywhere. That's it. Pretty simple.